What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. Two-game WNBA slate here on Tuesday night. I am so tilted. This showdown, I can't even begin to explain this to you guys, so I'll just show it to you. I played Big T, and her lazy self with the offense to herself. Arike Wnba out. 30 shots available, and Big T takes 5 or 6, 4 rebounds, 8 points. Pathetic. Honestly, pathetic. Kept me from the cash. I was super high on her, but I did mention in the Discord that I thought Minnesota could, as soon as she got the ball, just rush a double team at her and dare Dallas to hit threes. That's what they did. I also mentioned that Maddie, while scoring dependent, would take a lot of shots, similar to her Nova days in college. Nailed that, but couldn't get away from Big T. Just too good of a spot with no Arike. Just thought she would be a lot more aggressive and they would try to get the ball to her a lot more than they did. Nailed the Uzen game. I was really high on her. Just coming off poor games on a showdown slate when I knew Fee was going to be super chalky. There was going to be chalk everywhere. I was high on Uzen as a contrarian play. Smashed everywhere except Big T. Super tilting. I love Dorka as soon as she was announced as a starter. I played her at captain to fit everyone in. Turns out playing Mo Billings or McBride at captain and playing Maddie over Big T was the play. But you live and you learn. Big T's won me a lot of money over the years. Sadly, I did not get Big T right tonight. But part of it, let's look at the odds for these two games, and then we'll go team by team and break it down. For some reason, Draftkings Sportsbook never, ever has a Connecticut Sky game posted. They are probably 1,000,000-point favorites at home against the Sparks. That's going to be a terrible game. Liberty at the Mercury, 6-point spread, over under 168. Obviously, the much better fantasy game to target. But if the Sparks can somehow keep the game against Connecticut close, Connecticut players should absolutely smash. Sparks, really tough to get to very much here outside of large field tournaments just because how good Connecticut's defense is. Wnba, most expensive play on the slate. There's merit to fading her, as good as she's been. She was not very good against Atlanta, easily her worst game of the season. Shot 3 of 14, only saw 34 minutes. They actually pulled her for a small stretch, like in crunch time. Like when this game they needed her out there. Like, let's pull that up. They pulled her. She sat from 348 to 149. So 2 minutes of the final 4 she sat for some unknown reason. She just had a down game. Only 21% from the field. 11-7 is very steep in the matchup like this. I mean, facing the number 1 ranked defense in the W, like, that's a tough matchup. She's going to be lower owned, so I do have some interest in tournaments, but tempers the expectations with her for sure. Brink, 7,900, perfectly fine playing her. She had a really good game last time out. Still only saw 24 minutes, 31 fantasy points. She has upside at 7.9K. But a lot of foul concerns. Ari McDonald, 7.5K, played 31 minutes last time out, started the second half over Clarendon. I don't know why that's not the norm. Like, don't know why she's not just starting. Good game, another solid game. She's getting the assists. She'll grab you a couple boards. But her fantasy output lies in her scoring, so keep that in mind. Rakia Jackson, back-to-back good scoring games. She's taken a lot of shots. Her minutes have been up. I just worry the game that she does not score very well, her minutes are going to go back down to these 24, 27 maybe even less than that, because she's not pitching in very much in the peripheral stats. Like her for tournaments, obviously because she's shooting the ball quite a bit. The usage is there, but really, really low floor if the shot's not falling. So be careful with her. Lexi Brown, 6,900, perfectly fine. Shot 0 of 6 in 20 minutes. Terrible game, but the upside is there at 6,900. Just a tough matchup, really, for everyone here on the Sparks. Uru, 5,300. Just a fine play at her price. Like, it's hard to really say yes, jam her in, because she's going to play mid-teens minutes on a normal night. She can get you there easily 3x most nights, but there's nights like this where she plays 15 minutes and puts up 6 fantasy points. Really just there. If you think Cameron Brink just gets in massive foul trouble, you can play her in a few lines for MME. Clarendon, absolutely zero interest. Minutes are just evaporating fast. I've never been a fan. I'm sorry. I just don't see the appeal of playing her on a team like this that is clearly rebuilding. Minutes have gone down every game since she returned, 22 to 20 to 16 to 13 to 12 to 9. Ari McDonald started the second half over her this last time out. It would not shock me if Ari just gets inserted into the starting lineup. Then Clarendon becomes a massive risk, because she's not going to just come in and be a usage monster. She offers little to nothing on the offensive end. She can get you some peripheral stats every now and then. Just not someone I have much interest playing ever, and especially if she's coming off the bench, I would have zero interest. Kia Nurse, kind of the same. Minutes are everywhere. She went back up to 20 minutes. Did not do really anything with those minutes, 7.5 fantasy points. So not really someone you can consider, because her minutes are just not secure. Burrell, you can take shots on in large field. She might get 1 rotation, might get 2, who knows. Talbot might get 1 rotation, might get 2. Not a very good fantasy point per minute, but you can take a shot on her in large field if you need a pure punt play. On the Connecticut side, Alyssa Thomas at the top looks absolutely great. She is pricey. There is some blowout risk here, but the Sparks can't stop anyone. So Alyssa Thomas should feast. She should score. She can facilitate. She can grab some boards. She can get you some stocks. I love the spot for Bonner here at 9,100, coming off of a pretty down game, poor shooting game. I love the bounce back spot for her. Love the spot for Bree Jones. She's going to have Cameron Brink in foul trouble. It's just, write it down already. Book it. 2 quick ones for Brink. Bree Jones was aggressive against Dallas to start the game, and then kind of tapered off in the second half. I mean, she had 25 fantasy points at halftime. Let's look at... I know they were blowing them out, so I want to see her second half rotation that she had here. She played the first 4.5 minutes, and then come in and played 8 minutes, close to 8 minutes in the fourth quarter. So 12 second half minutes, not the best, especially when she played 16 first half. But she needs to do her damage early, because if this game blows out, she is obviously one of the first ones they're going to pull in a blowout. So keep that in mind, but she can easily pay off 8K even if the game does blow out. Ty Harris, 7K is fine. She's going to take her shots. If they fall, she has some upside. She's been getting the peripheral stats, so don't mind her as a mid-range option. Dejanay is fine. Great matchup for her. She can probably get you 20 to 25. She's going to get you a few peripheral stats. If the shot's falling, she can have a decent game. Nelson Adota, really not someone I'm interested in unless you think the game blows out or Bree Jones foul trouble. You can get there. Tiffany Mitchell, still playing high teens, low 20s minutes. Hasn't been doing much with it, but the minutes are there. So you never know. She might pop for one of these 14.5 fantasy point games and really, really be what you need at 4,100. So have no issues playing her as a punt. No interest in Burton. I mean, the minutes she's barely playing any minutes at all. Bantam, absolute nuke missile. Last time out, shot 5 of 8. 16 real life points. Just wow. I have no words. If you want to play that, you can. Best of luck to you. If you think the game blows out, she'll get some bonus run. If the game stays competitive, they might just DNP her because randomly she gets a DNP. But if the game does blow out, she'll get extended a little bit. On to the second game, by far the better game for DFS purposes. Liberty at the Mystics on the... Not the Mystics, the Mercury. Sorry, it's been a long day. Liberty side, Stewie 11-1. Really been up and down this season. Not been her normal dominant self. Love the minutes though. I mean, we've mentioned this numerous times. With Sabali out, they have 3 bigs and they're starting all 3 of them. I'm assuming this game is going to stay competitive. The Mercury play pretty well at home. If you're going to tell me Stewie is going to play 38 minutes, maybe even 36, somewhere around that 36 to 38 range, she has massive slate-breaking upside. I mean, in a down game, she put up 38.5 fantasy points. I was very high on her then. I'm high on her again here. She's just not shot the 3-ball well at all this season, and that was her bread and butter last year. Love her upside, so I will definitely have shares of Stewie for sure. Jonquil Jones has been absolutely nuking lately. I always say if she takes more than 10 shots a game, like she gets double-digit field goal attempts, she is going to pop because she is extremely efficient. She takes very good shots, and when she gets on a roll, she gets on a roll. 47, 48, and 50 in the last 3. I mean, one of the most consistent players right now. She's been money, playing 33 minutes a night with potential to play maybe a couple minutes more. I absolutely love JJ here. Should pop in this matchup as well. Sabrina, we already seen that Sloot is doubtful to play. I love Sabrina here. The matchup is fantastic. Assuming she's going to shoot a little bit better than what she did. She put up 40 fantasy points, 12 assists, only 3 rebounds, 15 real-life points. I think the points number could go up. The assist, you love to see that. The peripherals, you just love to see at that level. 14 and 15 past 2 games. I absolutely love her at sub 10K. Benajelani, 8,100. Absolutely no issue playing her. Going to play mid-30s minutes. Great defender. Going to get you the peripheral stats. If she scores in double figures, she's going to easily pay off her salary. Like I mentioned, Sloot is doubtful to play, so I highly doubt she's going to be there. Thornton has been abysmal of late. She had the 1 nuke game against Washington, none above 20, and she's had a couple single-digit fantasy days. Her minutes are down from when she got named a starter. They're just playing Fibich more. She's outplaying her. She just looks better on the floor spacing-wise. She's a better offensive threat. She's a good defender, so like Fibich at her price at 5K. First half had a brutal first half. Kind of picked it up and salvaged her day in the second half. Just 5K is too cheap for someone that's going to play 17 to 25 minutes, assuming she might get extended if Thornton's struggling. Love her again for value at 5K. You can take a shot on Burke. Like I said, she's going to play 1 to 2 rotations. It's gross, but you can take a shot on her if you aren't going to chase the Bantam, whatever you want to call that. Dokic's going to get 6 to 8 minutes. She's fine. I personally can't play her, but she is the flat min, so if you're making a bunch of lines, you may throw her in a couple or have some shares. On the Phoenix side, BG, 10.1K. She's just been incredible. I mean, her first game, minutes limit, 21 minutes, 18 fantasy points. Against Dallas, obviously double overtime, plays 39 minutes, puts up 46. But these 2 games, the Aces defense isn't that great. Puts up 42. 32 minutes. then against Seattle, their defense is good. Now, granted, you can attack them down low. 31 minutes, 45 fantasy points. She's averaging 22 real-life points, grabbing rebounds, which is huge for her, something that she hasn't been consistent on in the past. I think this price is still too cheap for her. If this game is going to stay competitive, BG is going to have to be the one that's shouldering the load and kicking the ball out to open shooters, because they're just not going to want BG to beat them. Clea Copper, 9,600. The usage is massive with her still, with BG back. Extremely high upside in a play like Copper. The peripheral stats are really up and down, so that's not the greatest, but she's a fantastic tournament play. The usage is there. I mean, it's as consistent as it was before BG returned, so I have no issues playing Copper in tournaments. Cloud, oh man, I love Natasha Cloud. She's just not shooting the ball that much. 2 of 6, 2 of 6, 4 of 9, 0 of 3. These are all the 4 games since BG has returned. I mean, obviously, she played 44 of a possible 50 minutes against Dallas and shot the ball 6 times. She's going to get the peripheral stats. She just has to have the shot attempts and the actual points to really pop for good value. I don't know. I think she's a little bit overpriced for the amount of usage that she has. DT, 8,300. Don't mind her. It all depends if she hits her shots. Here she has 12 peripheral stats. Lulls. This is 14, but it's a double overtime game. The peripheral stats really just aren't going to be there most of the time. It's all going to hinge on her scoring. Sophie Cunningham's fine, 6,400. She's going to play low to mid-20s minutes. Really needs to hit her shots to hit value. Same with Rebecca Allen. She's pretty score independent. A lower fantasy point per minute player. She had a decent game last time out. I think the price is fine for her, but you're probably never going to get like a 4X out of that. Sutton, minutes tick back down. She did not score. You obviously see this is her floor. This is her absolute ceiling. This is what you can hope to expect. It's like 13 fantasy points if she scores well. If she doesn't, she has a very low floor. I've always said this with Sug Sutton. The peripherals, she's going to get you a couple of them while she's out there. It just depends is she going to score or not. And if she doesn't, it's really hard to trust her. Osborne, Dixon, and Harrigan, I have no interest in. But I will be live before lock tomorrow, guys, before the 2-game slate. We'll answer questions. I'll update any news that we've got. If you enjoy this content, leave a like. I post a video every day. There's a WNBA slate. The growth has been awesome, but I'd really like to see if we could get like 50 or 60 likes. NBA is over. I think the Celtics just won, or maybe they're about to win. They're up by a lot last time I checked, but it's almost officially all WNBA season, so hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll have content out every day, and hope to see you guys in the stream. See you later.